Now, the Department of Meteorology says that the deep depression surrounding the island had dissipated to an atmospheric turbulence and is moving away from the island.
It adds that this situation could still cause windy conditions in some areas.
Also, many areas in the north, including Mullaitivu, are experiencing heavy rainfall today as well.
This was the weather situation in Mullaitivu this morning. A number of lowlands and plantations were inundated due to the heavy rainfall that was experienced in the Mullaitivu area during the past few days. Meanwhile, fishermen in the area refrained from setting out to sea due to the adverse weather conditions. Minister of Disaster Management Mahinda Amarveera stated that they had commenced collecting data on those who were affected by the adverse weather through the district secretariats, adding that relief will be provided to such persons. Meanwhile, a number of areas in Jaffna experienced rainy weather conditions. Our correspondent said that rainy weather conditions were experienced in certain areas of Kilinochchi, adding that low attendance was recorded in schools. Fishermen from the Puttalam area who refrained from setting out to sea have once again commenced fishing activities with improving weather conditions. However, our correspondent said that the sea areas in Puttalam were rough and sea erosion has affected certain areas in Puttalam.
Welcome back to the news. Now, the 115th birth anniversary of late Prime Minister SWRD Bandaranaike falls today.
A memorial event was held in Colombo today with the participation of a group including Prime Minister D.M. Jayarathne.
The event was held in the vicinity of the statue of late SWRD Bandaranaike located at Golface. Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumartunga, Prime Minister D.M. Jayarathne, SLFP General Secretary Minister Maithripala Sirisena, Senior Vice Chairman of the SLFP Minister Nimal Siripala De Silva and the Governor of the Western Province Alavi Maulana were among those in attendance. A leader who was in power for 3 years is remembered in this way, not because of the 3 years that he spent in power, but because the late Bandaranaike served his people in historic fashion. Certain politicians in this country have been in power for much longer, but the people of this country do not remember the day that these persons were born or the day that they died. It is the people who participate in this event usually that have participated today as well. There are not enough people who are making use of the party and the Bandaranaike vision. We cannot say that this is wrong. All that we have to do is attribute it to human qualities. There is a facet of the Bandaranaike character that we must learn from. Just as we take action, if we can instill in the people our vision and our programs, then that will remain eternal.
Still in local news, the Democratic Party's chief organising the Kulonnawa electorate, Susil Kindalpitiya, charges that there are political forces behind the trafficking of heroin and other narcotics in the country.
He made the statement at an event held in Kulonnawa yesterday.
A meeting of Democratic Party activists from the Mullaeriyawa North and Kalni Mulla areas in the Kulonnawa electorate was held last evening in Nirmawale, Ambatale.
Who is it that imports them? They are all people connected to politics. They bring down ethanol for cheap, mix it and make you drink it. Then you will not ask for homes or jobs for your children. You will not ask for education or health facilities because you will drink the ethanol that is responsible for everything and keep quiet. This is the system that the rulers are hoping to adopt, else steps should be taken to eradicate them. Now, meanwhile, leader of the National Unity Front, Azad Salih, addressing a media briefing held today, questioned as to who is behind the illegal importation of ethanol. The first stock of ethanol came under the guise of tar. The second time, it came as turpentine. And the third time, it came as furniture.
The question I'm asking now, and what I was asking back then, is who is responsible for importing the stock of 66,000 litres and 74,000 litres? Who is responsible for the 16,000 litres which was found yesterday? Please present these facts to the public. Who cleared this? What quantity was imported? Which minister imported it? This is what we need to ask.
Moreover, speaking at an event held in Walasmola, UMP MP Sajid Premadasa commented on the decision taken to ban all VIP and VVIP banners from vehicles.
The event was organized to distribute concessionary loans to around 150 low-income women in the area under the Janasuvya program.
පොලිසියේ මාධ්‍ය ප්‍රකාශකතුමා කියනවා වාහනවල VVIP board එල්ලගෙන යන්න තහනම්.
The police media spokesperson says that it is illegal to carry VVIP and VIP boards on motor vehicles. This is a good thing. However, who goes around displaying these VVIP and VIP boards? The boards are being used by ministers, their family members, their children, friends, relatives and their henchmen. Why do they do this? Because no one stops them. They don't need to tell the world about this rule. All they have to do is to start implementing this rule on ministers and their families and relatives.
ඇමති ඥාතිවරුන්ගෙන්ම ඇමතිවරුන්ගේ පෞල් සංහතියෙන්ම මේ නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීම පටන් ගන්නට ඕන.
And now the Consumer Affairs Authority has seized 47,000 kilograms worth of sprats unsuitable for consumption from Handala Wattala worth around 30 million rupees.
The Consumer Affairs Authority made the discovery during a raid that was conducted after information was received regarding the contents of 3 containers. The Gampaha district head of the CAA, Ranjit Veerawardena, said that 3 persons have been arrested in connection to the discovery. Meanwhile, the customs today opened a cargo container containing vehicles that were imported to the country by producing forged documents. According to customs, the cargo container contained disassembled parts of 9 vehicles, and the vehicles were imported in violation of the law which prohibits the importation of vehicles that are over 2 years old. One suspect has been arrested in connection to the incident.
Wild elephants that were roaming around human settlements coming under the purview of the Walikanda Divisional Secretariat were recently chased away from the area following a 10-day operation that involved the army as well. In the last 2 weeks of November last year, 4 people were killed in wild elephant attacks in Mahawali settlements in Walikanda. On the 2nd of this month, Action TV pointed out that the elephants that were chased away from Walikanda in the operation that was prompted by public protest are now roaming around agrarian settlements under the purview of the Dimbulagala Divisional Secretariat. This elephant fell into the ZD waterway which flows across Dimbulagala last night. The elephant, who was brought onto dry land, proceeded to damage farmland that lay in its way as it sought the relative safety of the dense jungle. On the 2nd of January, Action TV revealed the reason behind the damage to property and loss of life suffered in wild elephant attacks and the counter-attacks that the elephants have had to face. This reason is the clearing of wooded forest reserves in the area that are essential for animals including elephants to forage for food. At a discussion held on the 1st of December prior to the operation to drive away the elephants in Walikanda, members of the Mahasangha too pointed out that these reserve lands were being cleared so that not only Mahawali officers in the region but senior officials from the Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resource Management too could establish large-scale farms. Although on the 2nd of January, Action TV reiterated the importance of putting a full stop to the destruction of forests here, the destruction continues unabated. While about 200 acres of forest reserve adjacent to the Ruhunuket Wawa has been cleared to enable a ministry secretary to establish a private farm, farmers in the area are rising against the clearing of a further 100 acres of forest reserve.
කැලේ නැවත කපන්නේ නැහැ කියලා ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ විශේෂ
The Secretary to the Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resource Management, Ivan De Silva, made a statement to us that the jungle would not be cleared as per an order issued by the President. But this is meaningless. They are the ones who are doing the wrong. We are putting up a fence of our own to protect the village from elephants. In this instance, Mahavali officials, instead of standing on the side of the farmers who are attempting to safeguard their lives, are standing on the side of the destroyers of the forest reserves. When will steps be taken to put a full stop to the destruction of forest reserves in Mahavali zones that has caused elephants to be driven from one settlement to the next? Minister of Irrigation and Water Resource Management, this is over to you.